Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Part of prepping and doing things is actually getting out and doing stuff and practicing skills and testing out your equipment to make sure that it's good to go for when it really happens. So we're out here in the woods today. It's a bit of a controlled environment because I got my camp and stuff out here. So it's a good place to practice and try different techniques and different tools and just different things to help us if it ever happens for real. So this is kind of like my proving ground. My wife, she was nice enough to come along today and make fun of me, of course, and then film what we're doing out here. She isn't going to spend the night, but I'm actually going to spend the night out here. It's nice out right now. It's about 35 to 39 degrees. The sun's shining. Really light wind, but tonight it's supposed to cloud up. There's a chance of rain for later this evening, so I'm going to go out, set up camp. I'm going to get a fire going. I'm going to get all my gear spread out from my pack that I got here. I got my pack, got my coat, and I got my axe, and my pack is 28 pounds, and 28 pounds is kind of the norm for a pack. If you want to have decent sleeping gear and you don't want to freeze all night long, about 28 pounds in my experience is about what you're going to carry. But anyway, I'm going to spread all my gear out, what I got in the pack, before I set everything up, so you guys got an idea of what I got with me today, and just going to spend some time out here, so you guys stick around. All right, guys, we're at camp now. I got all my stuff laid out here. I was going to kind of show you guys what I have to constitute that 28 pounds of gear that I was telling you about earlier. Got everything spread out here on a large 55-gallon trash bag. It's a 2 mil trash bag. It's just the Brute brand that I got at Walmart. I have that in there for a ground cloth, or if I need to kneel down on something. It's lightweight, that's why I got that. Kind of going over some of this stuff here. Some of this stuff is kind of self-explanatory, and some of the stuff, there's a little bit of a story behind it, and I'm going to tell you guys that while I'm showing you all this stuff here. First of all, I got a spare pair of gloves and a spare pair of socks. Those are the two most important things as far as clothing goes to have with you extra, because they can both get wet. And you want to have a spare pair so you can dry out the wet pair, and then you still have a dry pair to use for both socks and gloves. I got a schmog there that I can use to dry my hands or cover up with whatever that I need it to be. I got a wool blanket here. This wool blanket is 80/20. It's a fairly heavy one. I've been using it kind of at home, and I really like it, so I thought I was going to bring it along on this trip here and try it. All the cool bushcrafters all have a wool blanket, so I thought I was going to try a wool blanket. Normally I just use a sleeping bag. My food, I got a couple energy bars here. This one is an actual military energy bar, that First Strike bar, and I got a Cliff bar. I also got some packages of chicken. This is just Star-Kissed chicken here. I am going to make myself a little chicken soup later. Got myself my long plastic spoon here so I can eat out of my pot or cup, whatever that I have. Lipton soup mixes. I've been carrying Lipton soup mixes for a long time, and there's a reason for that. A long time ago, when I was a teenager, I read a book called Dear Mom, A Sniper's Vietnam, and it was written by a guy by the name of J.T. Ward. And at the beginning of that book, he had what they carried on them when they went out, him and his scout, when they went out and did missions. And one of the things that he always asked his mother to send to them when they were over there in Vietnam was instant soup mixes, because sometimes they didn't have food and they needed a little bit something warm, something to give them a little strength, and that's what they used. They used just basic Lipton soup mixes, dry soup mixes. They carried them in their pack, so that's where I got the idea for this. Like most of the stuff that I do is just a combination of things that I try out myself and things that I've read about, see if it works for me. That's the big thing about getting out and trying stuff. You can put together a bag, and that bag is might look good, but it might not perform well. So that's why you want to get out and do this stuff. And this stuff here is basically my favorite items out of all my packs. I got 5-6 different packs. I got big packs, large packs, intermediate ones, small pocket ones. I've got my main get home bag. I got an intermediate get home bag. I got a hiking pack. I got all these different packs. And this gear right here is basically my favorite items out of all these packs. So I cannibalized all my packs to make this gear. But that's the story behind the Lipton soup. I got some wipes here, and I got a bar of my homemade pine tar soap. I used to carry liquid soap, but then I camped outside in the cold a few times and that stuff all froze. So I find a bar soap is superior to liquid soap. Smart water bottle. I got my smart water bottle here. Of course, that's compatible with the mini Sawyer there, and that's why. And these smart water bottles are heavier, so they can take a little bit more abuse if they're in a pack. And then I got my my camp cup slides in on the bottom of that, kind of real snug. Like I said, I got my mini Sawyer there. I got just the mini Sawyer because this is just an overnight. I don't need to carry any of the accessories with it. I'm probably not even going to need that mini Sawyer with the water that I got here. I got my folding steel camp saw. This is one of my most important tools that I got in here. This is kind of all around important because it helps me make a fire. And making fire is kind of the most important thing out here. A lot of people, they always talk about their ferro rods, and they talk about their fat wood, and they talk about their Bic lighters and stuff that they carry with them. But they never get into really the why. It's always the what and the how. But the why of fire is really important. It's never talked about. At least I don't think it's talked about in a lot of the videos that I watched. And basically is if you're out here, and even if you're wearing an Armani suit, if you can make a fire and you can maintain that fire, no matter how you're dressed, no matter the lack of gear that you have, if you can maintain that fire and get it going, it's going to keep you warm and it's going to help you survive. It can boil your water, it can signal for help, and it can keep you warm when it's cold and when it's wet. It can dry your clothes. It's kind of the most important skill to learn. I just wanted to mention that because, like I said, that's just something that just isn't mentioned that much. Got my multi-tool here. This is a Gerber one. Got my favorite bush pot. This bush pot here is one that I bought at a Goodwill out of a camp set a while back, and this was one of the items that was in that camp set, and this is actually my favorite pot. I absolutely love this pot. It's got the little handle on the back here for pouring. It's got the little pouring spout. That's why I keep this. I got other bush pots, but this is my favorite. My sleeping bag. This is actually just the intermediate black bag out of the military sleep system. I didn't bring the other packs with me the other bags with me because I wanted to keep my pack as light as possible. I do have the green bag and I have the Gore-Tex Bivy too, but I'm going to be in a hammock with a rain fly, so I decided to leave that home. Plus, I have my my military poncho here, and this is a poncho that folds into itself. I'm not sure what military this came from. I ordered this quite a while ago. It's got really decent grommets on it, and I've tied this up and used this for a rain fly different times too. I just really like this particular poncho, and that's why I keep it. It folds up really small. It's been really durable. This right here is the underquilt for my hammock, and I just got a regular Walmart hammock here, and I got my regular rain fly that goes along with it. I also got some cord, I got some bank line, and I got some regular 550 cord, and then I got these guys right here. These are actually called number 9 carabiners, and these are actually really nice for hanging a rain fly because you can cinch these, you can loop these around the tree, you can hook them, and then you can use the
I guess, T-shaped deal in here to cinch these tight. So if you're terrible with knots, like I am, and I really am terrible with knots, these figure 9 carabiners, if you have something that's really important to put up, can kind of help you out with that. My backpack here is just a regular drawstring field line bag. I've had this bag for years, and I haven't had any problems with it. It's got a top flap here where you can put some stuff in that you use all the time. It's got a side zippered pouch here on the front. It's got a carry handle, and I actually lined this bag with a 40-liter dry bag, so I can stuff all my stuff in there, close that up, and even if this gets dunked in the water, the dry bag is going to keep that stuff dry. And this is my accessory pack here, and all that is I got some drink mixes, I got some Gorilla Tape, I got a couple of Bic lighters, got a little piece of fat wood, got a little chunk of solid tea, I got some cider mix, and then this bottle here I got Vaseline soaked cotton balls. So I got a couple different ways to start fire. And this is my kit here that I got, plus my axe and my sweatshirt, and then my waterproof waterfall coat that I got over there that I have in case it does rain really hard tonight. I can stay dry. But this is the bulk of my gear right here. I'm gonna get this stuff cleaned up now, and then I'm gonna start hanging my hammock. I thought I'd also go over what I got on my person, plus I want to talk about water as well.
Is that fat wood in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Well, of course, dear, it's fat wood in my pocket. Yeah, I got a couple sticks of fat wood in my pocket, just in case I would need to whip a fire up. I also got my ferro rod in my pocket as well. And then got my wallet down here, and in my other pocket, I got my everyday carry Bic lighter, and then my everyday carry folding knife. It's a Kershaw Blur. And then I wasn't sure which knives I wanted to carry today, so I carried kind of two that I've been messing around with. I got a Mora Garberg here in the leather sheath, and then I got a Ontario Rat 7, and I got a sharpening rod Ranger banded onto the outside of the sheath. And I forgot to mention earlier on water, this is an old hiking trick. You take a jug that's got a screw-on cap like that, a gallon jug, and you put a carabiner on it, and then you can just clip this to your gear, and you leave this empty, and when you're hiking or covering land at distance, you run across some decent water that you want to filter or boil for later in the day or whatever, you can use this, you can fill this up, and then you got your gallon worth of water. I have seen a lot of really people who are really into the long range hiking carry items like this, and then that's why I was going to bring this along on this trip, so I could show that and share that with you guys as well. And then my water here, I actually brought this water from home along with me, and the reason I did that is I've got packs that I've carried water in, and I've got packs that I carried no water in, and I've came out here camping already with no water, and I've foraged for all my own water, and there's other times I've brought my water out here. And I find that kind of a happy medium is really the best, at least the best for me. I like a little bit of water with me, because if it's in a particularly dry time of year, like for us it's late summer, early fall, is particularly dry. So you might have a hard time finding water off the landscape at that time of year. So I think it's good if you have like a get-home bag or any type of pack like that that you might have to depend on for a day or two. You have some water in that to begin with, and then you have means to purify it, whether it's a pot to boil it, or you have a Sawyer, or any number of devices that they have now. But just wanted to share that stuff with you guys as well here before I start setting everything up. For these figure 9 carabiners, all I got is a loop tied on one end of this paracord, just like that, and then that comes down, and you loop the carabiner into the tab on the rainfly, and then see if I can turn this here. This kind of goes behind in that loop like so, and then that tail can just hang. But then that's how you can see here how that cinches and moves. that's how that these figure 9 carabiners work, and then I can just adjust it to get it directly over my hammock. And that right there is a perfect example of some fat wood. Wanted to show you guys what that looks like there in the wild. All right, I got my camp set up, and I got my hammock hanging, my rain fly up and stuff, and I'm out here doing the next thing that I want to do, and that's collecting some wood for my Siberian long fire that I'm going to make tonight. I've never made a Siberian long fire before. I've watched lots of different videos on it, and it's something that I wanted to try. I wanted to try it kind of all winter, and that's one of the things that I'm doing today. And this on my forehead right here, you see that sweat? That's something you don't see enough in YouTube videos, because when you're out here and you're foraging for wood, you're foraging for water, you're getting your camp set up, you're carrying stuff out, you're going to get hot, you're going to get sweaty, you're going to get dirty. That's just the nature of the beast. There's no such thing as a clean camping trip, at least not in my opinion. We had a plague go through our ash trees several years ago here in Michigan. It's called the emerald ash borer, and it just killed trees all over the place. All the ash trees, all the mature ash trees are basically dead in my area, and they're starting to fall down, and they fall down over roads, they fall down over power lines. So what like the tree trimmers do for the power lines and like the road commissions, they'll just cut these lengths of wood up, and they'll just kind of leave them lay. So some of the wood that I got over at my camp is stuff that I've collected from the tree trimmers and whatnot to make this Siberian long fire. And I got some here that I cut with my handsaw. I'm going to show you how I kind of plan on carrying this stuff. I got a toggle here on the ground, and what that is that's a long stick here. It's kind of a carry toggle. I got a long stick and I got a short stick. And all I'm going to do is take these longer pieces that I've collected here for this Siberian long fire. Wrap that up like that. Now I got myself a carry handle so I can carry these guys back to my camp. I'm gonna get these guys back to camp, start working on setting my fire up, and then I'm probably gonna go collect some water just so I have some extra from what I already brought out here in case I need to boil some more or I want some more. Give you guys a quick shot of camp now. I got pretty much everything set up the way I wanted. I got my bag hanging up there. I got all my gear backfilled into that dry bag inside my pack there. Got my water jug there. I'm going to go fill that here in just a second. Got my hammock up. I got my coat just thrown in there. Got my rain fly up. Got my Siberian log fire set up here. Got a little bit of a I guess a base put down first with some dry sticks, and then I got a whole bunch of tinder and kindling shoved in there. I got a few pieces shavings that I shaved off thrown in there, a whole bunch of pine sticks. I got more pine sticks right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little fat wood scraped and started, and then I'm going to stick that underneath these overhanging logs, and then I'm going to take these smaller pine sticks there and those pine needles, and then I'm going to set that on top, and that's how I'm going to start this. But anyway, that's a little bit what my my camp looks like. Got my bench here to sit on, got my fire right there, and then that's where I'm going to sleep. Hopefully I can get a little bit of radiant heat off of that to keep me warm.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You want to start this across so it burns evenly. But that's hopefully the start of my Siberian log fire right there. All right, I got my Lipton soup mix in there and my chicken. I'm gonna take my water off here. Lift that off. Set that over here. I'm just going to stir this up, let the residual heat soak the noodles up. Then I'll have my chicken soup for supper. Well, had something to eat, had a cup of coffee, got my wife walked out, and I'm going to go back and tend fire for the evening and see how much rain we get. Just kick back and relax in the old hammock. Just gathering up a little bit more firewood while it's still daylight. Easier to do it in the daylight than with a headlamp. I'll show you guys how you feed this fire as the logs burn. You just push them forward just like that. And what I'm going to do before I go to bed, I'm actually going to put the other logs that I got cut on top of it to kind of form a second layer. I just took my heel and I kicked a bit of a fire break around this here, turned up the wet sand, so if any embers or anything gets out of here, it's just going to be wet sand. I just kind of did one of these numbers right here. I guess I can show you. All I did is just kick like this and bring the dirt up to that little bit of a lip. And from time to time I throw some small pieces in the front there to keep everything stoked. So hopefully this fire is going to go all night for me. Now there is the campfire starting to die down. It's about 11 o'clock. I am turning in. Got myself all bundled up. And here I am in the hammock. It's been a good day. Gonna try to get a good night's sleep now. Probably have to get up in the middle of the night, tend to the fire at least once, maybe twice. But we're all bundled in here. Gonna call it a night. Morning, everybody. Got up a little while ago. The Siberian log fire was pretty much done, so I pushed a few of the end pieces back up in the center. I took a few of my split pieces, threw that on top, and you can see there, set my bush pot on there. I'm going to start to heat some water and make a little coffee. I'm going to wait till it gets daylight. It's just starting to lighten up in the east a little bit. But once it gets daylight, then I'm going to start packing up to head out. The wind is supposed to pick up really bad a little bit later this morning, so I don't want to be out here with all these trees around in that strong wind. It actually did ice quite a bit last night. So there was just a light coating of ice on everything, so that was kind of interesting. I've never been out here when it threw ice down like that. So anyway, when I get packed up and I have some coffee and stuff here, I'll come back to you guys for a wrap-up.
And here is what's left of my Siberian long fire. You can see it burned down to basically nothing. It lasted about 12 hours. I did put some longer pieces on it a couple of times, but it pretty much kept its shape for about 12 hours then before it burned down and collapsed in on itself. But you can see here, there's basically nothing left. I would definitely do this fire again. The only thing that I may do is I may start with a little bit larger log in the front and put some larger logs on it to start. Maybe I can stretch it out another hour or two, but I still think 12 hours for keeping its shape was pretty decent. And here is my hammock. The rain fly loosened up quite a bit because of that ice hitting it, but I still didn't get wet, so it's all good. Got my pack opened up there. I'm going to start packing my stuff in here. You can see it's starting to lighten up outside here. Had some wind come through here about 20 minutes ago. Some real strong gusts, and boy, the old trees were just a creaking and a cracking over in the big woods. So I think it's time to skedaddle out of here before the real wind sets in. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little information and a little entertainment out of this video here, and enjoyed making it for you guys. You guys have a good day. One last thing, you can also use your milk jug water carrier to get water to extinguish your campfire. That's all I got.